picked up here. Obviously, can be fantastic engage CC or follow-up CC, but isn't always going to have the same reliable teamfight impact that a Jarvan will bring to the table. This champion will now go for an invade. We'll see how this one works out. Pretty difficult for him to threaten Owner, but can just go for a steal here. Goes over, never mind, he's waiting over the wall. Observer's highlighting it beautifully, Owner. Likely gonna have to flash here. Lockum's there, might not get the chance. Doesn't even try to get over the big wall. MKOI with first blood. He's got nothing left to survive. And that's the bot lane prio paying off. Of course, for now, T1 have an advantage of their own, and JoJo's pretty far up. Waterblade ready to go for Owner. JoJo continuing to step into Faker, but he just does not have any health. Phase rush, he's gonna get him out for an extra second, but Owner just finishes the kill off effortlessly. Is forced to use the flash.
Already picked up for Faker means that he does end up with a stack on that as well as trying to trade hyper aggressively here. So the more kills that can go towards that mid lane, the better for the T1 mid.
Area, decent bit of damage. Powered auto going to connect. Ospawn back, but Guma crucially hitting the arrow, proccing those blight stacks as he has already moved in. It looks like taking the Raptors. So a lot of little trades across the map. Of course, ultimately it's still an overall gold lead to the side of T1. So what felt like a nice promising
having him burn his flash in these early stages, and the individual laning phases, small wins for T1.
Going in, immediate knockup, it's not going to stop the pushback from the Emperor's Divide. JoJo Pune running, but Owner happy to grab another carry on the way as well. Instead, going to turn his attention to the wave. Elyoya finally here, but it's just too late. The lanes for MKOI getting picked off so quickly as Keria even now tries to deny little bits of farm.
Great timing there from T1. You can see MKOI were aware of the level 6 and the flashless Orianna being a problem.
Had no room to play, while T1 already starting up that first Drake.
Yeah, they're going to be very happy to do so. Again, like, you have Doran burning that flash on the top side. You have Guma, Yush, and Keria winning out on bottom lane thanks to their aggression as well. And you can see that CS lead opening. Contest this as Owner. May just try and sneak one with the smite.
Level 4 for Alvaro. Throws the Gleaming Quill, so has been spotted. Owner not concerned whatsoever, knowing that Elyoya is on the grubs. I think MKOI should just be happy getting 2. That is a smite from Elyoya. No real reason to fistfight here. You don't have control in the mid lane. JoJo going to move up because it's an even wave. Elyoya continuing to step up. It's only Keria level 5. When becomes Lightning. Guma marked. Won't be charging in. Owner just wants to take this one. He has smite. Should be no way they can stop him, but Owner doesn't want to risk going down for it. So 3 grubs. Well played from MKOI. One champion alongside a lethality bars who can burst through that Xin if he's not able to get that ultimate down and really deny a lot of that effective sustain. Is TP coming in on the bottom side. Mirwen locking up Gumayushi, immediately taking him into the death realm, but he just quickly walks back, uses the power of the ult. Better than the 1v1, the Q flash forward. Gumayushi may have overstayed as well. He's about to get taken out. Mirwen knows he has that one in the bag. Keria now running out to safety. Extra movement speed coming in. That's the power of the spellbook Ghost. T1 caught a bit of sleep at the wheel. Risky proposition for Guma. Might have been a bit of a caster curse, honestly. Hyped him up just for him to get 1v1'd.
But he's not used to running TP, you know, so not exactly in the best of spots. Keria.
Now sprinting out. Flashing as well. Finally going to use the Unbreakable. This man is determined to live. Has a taxied off of Elyoya, but no one else is coming. They're going to use the Shockwave as well. Keria will eventually fall. Surely Keria will... Okay, Keria has fallen. All is okay. Sorry, the EU fan came out in me for a second there. I got it. And in Azir, you would have loved to be the person getting this second Drake when you've already gotten the first, to start stacking those Drakes to guarantee a fight where MKOI at some point are going to have to fight into you. Instead, unfortunately, a bit of a flub from the bot lane of T1. Mirwen looking to rinse and repeat here. Pullback does connect onto Guma. Do they want to keep the dive going? They don't even need to go that deep. Just obliterates him. Keria going to get taken out. Well, they know he has no Unbreakable will. MKOI grab another 2 in the mid lane.
Out of nowhere, MKOI starting to pick up a few of these kills. MKOI can really contest. There's a big wave that JoJo wants to get in top lane.
It's a risky bet. Top wave and mid wave essentially even. Mirwen going to push in on the bottom side, though. Try to deny some CS, try to get some plates. So MKOI recognize they're down a man. They don't want to commit the TP. Immediate exhaust on the Keria. 2-man knockup with the Pulverize. Good damage. Down, forced to use the Unbreakable will, but he's so low. Supa pushes for a bit more, and it's the big one to get it done. Redemption coming in the mid lane. It's going to heal up the minion as well. Keep the push onto this tower going. And Elyoya wants Guma. MKOI are bloodthirsty and fearless in the mid lane. Faker trying to respond with a push in the meantime, but it's MKOI with a massive lead.
These mid lane collapses are working for MKOI. They're getting the kills, they're getting some waves, but again, they are dropping one wave on top on that tower to Faker in the top side of the map. But overall, like, mid tower for top tower, get the kills. They drop a wave in mid for T1 as well. MKOI are going to be happy with this. So I think that's what MKOI spotted, going, hang on, where is this Kiana? She has to be on the bottom side, but JoJo
finding out firsthand exactly where Carry is. Lockdown coming in. Q-Flash goes in forward for Dorn. Pushback coming through on the Pathmaker. Pulls him out of the Redemption. Knocks him down. Owner picks up the kill. Want to make sure that they have all members present. Mirwin lingers a bit in the darkness, debates if there's an angle. Thinks better of it as there's a bit of prio in the mid lane. Some minions denied and likely the tier 2 to fall. Supa making good use of that Trinity Force power spike. The Spellblade damage to the towers can't be underestimated. Of damage when he gets the next reset on cooldowns. So Mirwin zoned away, but it's just a split map. MKOI getting a tower on the top side. T1 likely to finish off this tower in the bottom lane.
Yeah, and for T1, this is kind of what you want in a split map scenario, being able to match a lot of these plays and keep within touching distance on the goal. You do end up scaling exceptionally well with the Azir and this Varus as the game starts to go on.
His HP does have access to the Redemption, but instead is just going to opt to reset. Herald used in the bottom lane as Owner finds Supa. Face first, pushes him back to the wall, immediately CC'd. Flat forward with the Shockwave! Excellent teamwork, but Owner's still going to be able to find his way out. Now Guma's moving in. Ulti is going to connect, but it's Elyoya who body blocks. Elyoya with the Crescent Guard, but the snipe from Guma! Dead center right between the eyes to find the double as MKOI are now on the retreat, and T1 take the fight in the river. T1, Supa, powerful individually in terms of what he could do in a fight, what he did do.
We're going in MKOI's favor, but when it came towards the objective setup and how to play the map, T1 just ever so slightly ahead. Now MKOI tries to even brute force their way in through the mid lane. Faker is separated.
Hot. Charm is there. Lock up on Owner, but he goes invisible for a brief moment. Now he's pulled him to the death realm up against Mir when ulti is really going to do nothing, but Owner's still able to retreat for now. Alvaro taken down. Owner coming over the wall, going to pop out in a brief moment. Wants to get the grass blade, doesn't have time. That's the shutdown, but it should be Supa uncontested. Instead it's Carrier coming in with the pulverize, and now it's Elyoya versus the world. He goes into the Faker, but there's too many people. There's not enough sky to sunder. There's nothing left to guard. Jojo wants to make the difference, but Guma grabs it. 3-man Shockwave. He just doesn't have the damage yet. He doesn't have the items. Jojo keeps him low, but Doran wants to keep going. Q3 ready to pop. Pull through on the all-out. Looking for the Pathmaker to confirm. Tries to predict Jojo, and it just doesn't work. Doran looks like he's about to fall. Nice sidestep on Guma's Q, but Doran just barely able to walk away.
It's the Canadian mid laner trying his best, but it's Faker who's better and snipes him out.
I don't even know if that was necessary. That was the insult after the injury, Rob.
On this, Supa and Elyoya are so worried about Owner as he comes out. Jojo has been completely isolated. Now Alvaro is in the same boat.
Alvaro caught, will just get taken out there. Important to highlight in the fight, Doran perfectly calculating the Pathmaker, the Cassante W, to catch Mirwin as the death run.
Have you never listened to her voice lines? She is very pumped.
Yeah, pumped up. Guma potentially caught out. Alvaro not able to hit the charm. Only connects on the Carrier. Redemption going in, Q-Flash from Mirwin, Redemption response from T1. This is a bit of an awkward start. Mirwin losing a ton of health, pulls Carrier into the death realm, and now it's Doran into the backside. 4 members strong from MKOI, slowly working through the health bars, but down goes Mirwin. Doran only losing about 60% HP. Bit of an awkward exchange of cooldowns, and T1 come out on top.
Yeah, MKOI tries the Baron, but again, face checking is not fun.
No, it's not. Supa losing about 20% HP just for walking in. TP in for Doran, solo zoning Supa, gonna ult him back through the wall. It's gonna take all of MKOI to turn. Doran now trying to retreat back to the waiting arms of his team. In the meantime, the Baron has been taken out. Faker and Owner easily 2-manning it. MKOI, brief moment where they have control of mid.
Jojo near Shadow Flame, but even then, oh, hang on, Alvaro
on the flank. Nice backstep from Faker. Able to get a bit of CC down. Shockwave going in, but it's really not doing the damage they need. That's the supreme display of talent. Said I'd say ultimate, but I didn't. I couldn't help myself. MKOI getting the objective bounty. In the meantime, looks like the tower did fall in the bottom lane. But they're just being zoned off, pushed away. May come down to the 50-50 steal if Elyoya wants to poke his head in.
Nah, I think it's done for. This is what I was about to say, was the fact that you don't really have that damage on Jojo, and that Banshee's Veil on Faker just makes it.
And mounting the comeback is now Owner sprinting through the jungle. Alvaro goes over the wall, but there's just members of T1 around every corner ready to lock him down. Supa really does not do enough damage to Doran. He's able to zone him away. Hex flash over the wall. Alvaro locked up and interrupted. Owner trying to one-pop him, but Alvaro lives for an extra second. Nice Shockwave, but really only connecting onto Carrier. With that major cooldown down, it makes it so easy for Faker to step up, for Guma to step up. Big chunks coming through from the Varus Qs. The piercing arrows connecting. And T1, now that they have the Baron, now that they have access to the bottom lane, will they just go for the throat, or are they going to take their time? Doran unstoppable for a moment. The siege just continues from T1. No real way for MKOI to answer for now.
Top of mid, but is this something?
TP. Faker feels good because he has a death cap, and oh god, he wants to use it! Redemption going in! That looks completely insane, but my man, did he do the math?
That was a display of talent. That was some damage from Faker on that play.
We've learned that the best player of all time's most played champion might be worth taking away. We might have learned it before, other teams might have learned it before, but MKOI relearning this particular lesson.
Very happy that Fearless exists in this series if you're MKOI, because you do not want to go up against that again. As T1 was siege down the Nexus turrets. The waves aren't here, but the poke can be.
Yep. Guma just continues to free fire. One wave coming in on the top side, likely the end here. MKOI some good looks in that mid game, some good picks, some good angles on the T1's bottom line. As Alvaro gets things kicked off on the Faker. Nice initial bit of damage, but he comes out relatively unscathed. A lot of cooldowns missing. Redemption to get the health bars back up. Alvaro needs to backstep. Big damage. Doran going unstoppable for a moment. Q3 pulls him back through. Elio in the midst of everything, but Doran getting lower. The tower not quite enough. Supreme delay. Talent coming in. Owner still standing for an extra second. I think they've overstayed a bit, but it just doesn't matter because they're not hitting Faker. And he's got more than enough damage to finish the job. The super minions are here too. It is long, it is drawn out, it is only getting more difficult, but Doran remains standing, T1 remains standing. They've only lost Keria. The Nexus exposed.
The defender's advantage is not really looking like an advantage.
Finally gonna end the game, Rob. They took their sweet time. They wanted a couple extra kills. The icing on top of this game one cake. Faker looking for another, the double to finish it. T1. Honestly, the Azir that we saw last game. So what will the final option be here? It's Vayne. Okay. And you know, I honestly, you have to respect it.
MKOI spotted exactly what Elio and Alvaro are up to, because this is what I was talking about. Like, this duo of both Braum and Trundle, incredibly strong on the invade if they can start getting some of those auto attacks down.
Supa has recognized that fist fighting is the solution. Who's going to get it? That's the third stack. Knockback on Guma. Flash forward auto in the 1v1. Supa comes out on top.
The Vayne dueling power is so strong, and even with the barrier, Gumayushi isn't able to match Supa early first blood for MKOI.
And again, that's part of the reason why we've seen this matchup before. In the 5v5, Sivir can be a powerhouse, but in the 1v1, Vayne so strong here early on. MKOI now looking to keep that advantage going, but it looks like T1 may have caught them out. Double knockup coming in for Doran. Owner now on the chase. Elio needs to get the hell out. Mirwan not doing much to interrupt. Double flashes. Elio trying to get fancy with the footwork, but it's not nearly enough. Concussive blows continuing to stack, but Mirwan now needs to leave as well. Flash over the wall to Sage, but Keria immediately falls with the Zenith Blade. Now it's Alvaro knocked up. The solo on the top side immediately counteracted by T1 in the bottom left.
Already on 2 kills. This is where Wukong becomes terrifying in some of these fights, especially as he gets towards that try. Burn flashes on Jojo, rinse and repeat over and over, and just make this Cassio incredibly uncomfortable.
Definitely a solid option as Doran gets a little tricky with the tunnels there. Luckily does not take a tower shot, but now it's Owner coming in behind. Mirwan, of course, has the ulti available. Public execution back into Owner, trying to get tricky with it. Bit of a sidestep there. The Sundering Strike ready to come through, but he just has no time to press the button. 2 spins coming in, but Mirwan! He gets a kill back onto Doran! A catastrophic miscalculation!
This weekend, that is the second time it's backfired!
Supa, caught out briefly, cleanses, goes invisible with the final hour, but he's hitting the wrong target. Guma immediately using On the Hunt. Supa now debating if he can chase, but that's the heal coming up from Keria. Takes over to level 6 just in time, and there's no cleanse this time around! Alvaro comes in to try to body block! Flash over from Supa into the bush! Guma not afraid to flash forward, but now he's face first at Elioya. Concussive blow stacking. 3. Alvaro desperate for the 4th, but it's Faker coming in from behind. Jojo also on the way, but he's just too far away. Alvaro locked up. The hubris of Supa once again punished.
It feels like this balance of powers.
Next fight, but more than happy to have that gold. Those 2 quick kills onto the bottom lane. Supa still not able to complete that Blade of the Rune King. Keria now ghosting it, looking for the lockup onto Supa. Supa no cleanse available, going invisible courtesy of the final hour. Now wants to get the hell out, but there's Owner to start spinning. Supa taken down, Owner on a killing spree.
It's everyone on T1 focusing on Supa, making sure this Vayne cannot get ahead. The ghost from Keria puts him into the perfect position, and even if he doesn't get some of the stuns, just buys the time to Keria.
Just be careful, pillar down, forced to flash. Smite for a bit of extra slow. Ulti already down as well from Elioya. That's 1 tanky Trundle. Keria going to fall. Elioya still a powerhouse. Owner getting locked up. 2 stacks because of blow, and he uses the clone to escape. They're not going to over-push into Guma, but Keria a little overconfident, continuing to push. Deny Supa for any opportunity to force those 1v1s. Here now is Elioya and Alvaro on the top side. Doran with the tunnel network. This man's played Zerg at some point in his life. I feel confident saying that.
Yeah, it's only not quite a 6 pool available in this game, but MKOI is going to be happy to take away some of these plates on the top end of the map. In return, T1 going to be getting that dragon, so looking for these trades, but again, T1 kind of playing around. Oh, hang on.
Doran, potentially a little bit overconfident, slowed up, he's just gonna get taken out. I think thought that he could get a bit more. The rest of the team is on the way. Faker is here, Keria is here.
The Rek'Sai license.
Yeah, I mean, you can make it top 8, but did you get the Rek'Sai license? I'm not so convinced. It's Faker doing a good job of trading here. Nice sidestep on the Noxious Blast. JoJoPunes needs to get out. Hasn't hit the Noxious Blast, so doesn't really have the movement speed. Conqueror procs. Faker happy with just the flash. Oh, Yo-Yo moving in. The pillar's going to be big here. Nice initial lock up on Asuba as he tries to step back. Alvaro doesn't have the Unbreakable quite yet, and they're starting the retreat. Oner getting good chip damage down to Elyo. The flash still keeping Elyo alive. Keep your eyes on that Realm Warp. Hand delivered, but he's already been stunned. Oner locks it for a moment, wants to turn on to Elyo. Tries to finish off Suba, but down he goes. Doran arriving just in the nick of time. This is a double knockup. Guma goes over the wall, and he's looking to clean up house. Mirwan's still standing, but he doesn't have the ultimate because of the play earlier. T1 firing back.
That ultimate is so close to getting off a cooldown. I think Mirwan wants to fish for Faker, but it's a bait as Doran finds him in the bush. They're going to continue to push forward.
4 seconds on the public execution. Guma, does he have access to the spell shield? JoJo and Mirwan hesitate.
T1 have started to get aware of the ruse, and now they're just losing minions top, they're losing minions bot, and the TP from T1 to contest.
Full 5v5, Hex Flash over the wall from Keria. Solar Flare available, the Cyclone as well. Alvaro with the blinking health bar is going to be forced to retreat, does have access to the Redemption, so it'll just be the Herald conceded. Are they going to spot him? Not quite. T1 happy to have the objective, and MKOI slowly losing advantage across the map.
Ripchild put down immediately. The cavalry from MKOI is here, but T1 are here en masse, and this tower will fall with little MKOI can do.
Mirwan's starting to kick a fight off, though. Ulti forced out from Oner. That's the Redemption coming forward. He's going to mount up back into the Herald, looking for the triple knockup, starting to drive through the entire team. Alvaro on the back line. Oner's just hitting everybody. MKOI pulling back. They'll keep their members standing. A lot of cooldowns traded, but no one going to drop. Faker contesting JoJo a bit, but it looks like JoJo just
immediately forces the TP from JoJo.
This cast, we will be praising Faker. This is what we've decided. He doesn't probably need any more, but just in case you forgot.
This is the first international event I got to this year. I gotta it's a full year of Faker praise saved up. Yeah.
Fair. He wasn't even at the first one, so I respect that you were saving it for first stand too. T1 going to grab their third Drake of the game. MKOI not feeling like they're in a comfortable spot to contest.
Very careful and methodical now on their wave states and setting up the map in their favor.
They have better push, right? And they have the advantage in terms of overall gold, and you can see JoJo there. As much as
means he's just starting to drift further behind, and Gwinsu's Rage Blade is a big item spike, but we don't get there.
Exhaust onto Elya, locked up, all the CC leverage. Alvaro looking for the disengage as Doran's off to the side, has been caught by the Condemned. Guma flashing backwards, already used the spell shield. It's Mirwan in the midst of the entire team. Fall with the Petrifying Gaze. Supa's still untouched for now. Slowly they're chipping through the health bars, and Doran's about to fall. That's the Silver Bolts proccing, blinking health bars across all of MKOI as they start to retreat. Guma, Faker, still alive, the Realm Warp available. T1, do they want to chase?
Public execution of Mirwan, he's going!
We're gonna go back on Guma. Guma with a perfect spell shield, looking for the follow-up as well. Still standing for a moment, but Elya goes right in, looking to chop a bite out of Guma. Supa gets the kill, but Faker untouched for now. Again, MKOI playing on the edge. Oner about to be hand-delivered. Elya looking for the angle with the pillar. Extra movement speed for JoJo, he's not gonna be able to escape. They turn back onto Oner. MKOI still standing.
Faker goes for the kill on his mid laner, but leaves his junk.
Presumably know this is happening as they set up around the Drake, just don't want to give up. Buy themselves a few more minutes. You talked about it before, 3 items, 2 items. Maybe they feel like they just need a bit more time, and this does give them time. See so little of the map. Honestly, T1 might as well be playing with map hacks. Look at this, they have bits, they have pieces. The only reason they even have a remote idea of where T1 are is because they know this dragon, this soul is spawning in 14 seconds. Already Faker taking control of mid. MKOI have a bot wave that they would kind of like to push in. The price of admission for them even to group here is going to be a wave of minions. They fail here, they'll only be even further behind. They're betting it all on this play. That's the Solar Flare, but no immediate follow-up. Block up onto JoJoPunes is good. Doran going in as well. JoJoPunes flashing forward. They're looking to take out Guma in the midst of the entire fight, but another knockup coming in just in time to keep Guma standing. Mirwan taking him down and moving back out of the fight in the midst. It's Oner taken out as well. T1 ready to come in with the Realm Warp, ready to turn it back. MKOI though, still 3 members strong. Doran debating where does he go? What is the angle for this fight?
Supa's lost the ultimate though. He's now way more vulnerable in this fight, and Doran wants to go for it. No flash available for him though.
Elya and Alvaro need to protect Supa. So much damage could come out of this vein, but if a single piece of CC connects, there's likely little they can do to stop any further damage. Heal comes in from Alvaro. Objective getting lower. Knockup coming in from Doran. That's Alvaro taking out of the equation. And Faker's now on the hunt, looking to zone Supa out as well. He needs to take away the dragon, needs to deny the soul, and he will do so. Still standing for a damn long time, but not enough to turn the fight. Faker, Doran, Keria, too strong. MKOI might get the objective, but they lose just about everyone.
And the Baron is still a target here for T1, and Owner is about to come back up onto the map. Faker even looks like he just TP'd to the top side.
Giving T1 the greater advantage here as they now start this objective. Mirwin not even sure if he can step up. MKOI after that last fight don't feel confident to contest. T1 taking the Baron at 29 minutes. Gonna have to see what they can do with the Red Bull Baron power play because there's no response from MKOI.
And Dracos, he talks about the short range already on T1. Having this is a huge bump.
Public execution, it looks like they want to get some exit kills in the meantime. Locking up Owner, looking to take him down. Faker and Gumayushi on the way in, but the redemption already used. No other summoner spells. So we'll just be the single pick that will slow down this Baron, but MKOI know that they need to play for more. They can't afford to let T1 choke them out.
The Rilay's onto Faker though, the slow, nearly enough to keep him in place.
And on the hunt, available. MKOI overcommit here. Oh, you'll walk face first into Guma. Lockup is there. Ulti connects from Alvaro. Nice petrifying gaze, kick things off, and down they go. MKOI with one more fast play. One more pick, but this time they want the full fight. It's Doran splitting off. In the meantime, MKOI immediately turned back. That's to get them right back into the wall. Lockup for the concussive blows, but the tunnel's keeping Doran standing. All of T1 immediately retreat. They want nothing to do with this. Doran will be sacrificed. T1 punished.
Flashless Gumayushi was...
Doran off on the side, isolated as well, taunting, threatening, trying to distract the members of MKOI. Flash forward from Jojo, completely whiffs. Owner immediately turns right back. Alvaro tries to find the disengage. Lock up onto Guma, does not come through. Mirwin cannot find the angle. Supa still standing for now. Knock back into the wall is good, but Owner wants to take down the bait. He doesn't quite have the damage. Supa still standing, but the rest of MKOI are starting to fall. He splits back into Mirwin. Tumble back into the back line. Knock up from Doran. One more ferocious bite, but the Condemn says not today. Supa standing, but here comes Faker.
Faker finishes off Supa and holds the game for T1 in his hands. It looked like Supa might have been able to hold it, but now with the Dragon Soul in T1's favor, what looked like desperation in the fight may just crumble.
So T1 know that they have the time to play slow, to ease into this. Faker flashing forward, trying to get more out of Jojipun. Jojipun taking his time. The petrifying gaze only going to connect onto Owner. Immediate exhaust to follow up. Doran looking for the knockup as well. And just now, Supa's finally able to join the fight. The Realm Warp going to bring only a few minions in, but that's a clutch pick for T1.
MKOI separated as they try to contest the mid-wave while keeping their approach on Baron free. And T1 pounce. That was exactly what they needed in the moment. And just like that,
Ford road to qualify. But all that matters is getting there, making it to the next stage. T1 on the precipice of taking the series. MKOI, the cusp of elimination. Have to hold the line.
Doran very quickly making his way through that middle turret. The demolish doing work. As T1 just letting the minions do the work for them on the bottom lane. There is no one that can really approach these waves, and that wave clear is abysmal on MKOI's side.
That it is. Everyone trying to contest Doran, but again, the tunnels are set up. He's not even going to use it if he doesn't have to. Another inhibitor tower falling, likely 2 inhibitors to follow.
There is a wave amassing on the top side. MKOI Worlds starting to sneak away from them as T1 continue to put a stranglehold on this game.
Supa walking up stun initially onto Owner, does still have access to the GA. Double ultis, both supports trading, and they just do not win. Doing everything they can to clear the waves before T1 are in a position to threaten.
But it's not just one fight. Mid-towers all still stand. Bot lane fully stands. MKOI need to find one fight that can fall into another, that can maybe get that domino going in their favor.
Once more into the abyss, once more from Movistar KOI. Owner locked up for a brief moment, on the hunt used. MKOI retreating back to the river, but unbreakable down for Alvaro already. Oh yeah, isolated. 5 members grouped for MKOI.
Super Minions in the bases. MKOI start the Elder. They need to find this fight now and quickly.
TP there for Doran, and he's immediately going to use it to go to the base. He wants to threaten the back door. MKOI don't have great tools to respond to this. T1 just need to keep the pressure on, and Doran will end the game. Owner with the knockup to keep things going. Carrier there as well. Rise with the Realm Warp. It's Faker and Guma alongside Doran to try to end it all. Mirror1 doing his best to hold the line. TP coming in for Jojopyun. They're not going to be able to cancel it. Mirror1, Jojopyun, they need to make this work. They don't have the angle. Guma with a perfect spell shield is still going to remain standing. T1 move on to the top 8 at Worlds 2025. MKOI are sent packing.